Welcome to Be the Voice podcast, brought to you by Voices Magazine, where we are using our voices to shatter the silence. It's time to be informed, encouraged, and empowered with your favorite host, Dee Marie. Well, good morning and welcome to Be the Voice podcast. This is your host, Dee Marie. Thank you so much for supporting us. We've gotten some feedback and some really good feedback from the past few weeks. So again, thank you guys for always tuning in. So Be the Voice podcast is actually brought to you by Voices Magazine. And Voices Magazine is an online magazine that is tailored to the voices of sexual abuse survivors. So we feature stories from survivors that are willing to share to help others in their healing journey. And along with that comes a counselor's corner. There's tips and safety, healthy living, fashion and beauty. And then also we spotlight an organization that is actually doing the work, and not necessarily in sexual abuse, but doing the work to help out the community, because we understand that when it comes to the trauma of sexual abuse, it's not just stays at that trauma. It actually trickles into other areas in families, in your life, in communities. And we love to highlight those organizations that are doing the work to improve our communities. So if you have an organization and you would like to be featured in the magazine, you can email us at info@vocesmagazine.com, and that's info@VOSASmagazine.com. And to purchase one of our magazines, you can go to vocesmagazine.com, and that's VOSASmagazine.com. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Voices Magazine is not on YouTube, but we are on Twitter. So you can follow us and to get more information. Well, this morning, it is just your host, Dee Marie. Pretty excited about today. And I hope that as we move forward in this broadcast and this podcast, that there are some nuggets that you can take, just some things that was on my heart. And honestly, today I'm just going to be hot, which stands for humble, open, and transparent. I go to Transformation Nation Online, and that is the motto there, is to be hot, humble, open, and transparent. So that is what I am going to do. So, so we're at the end of the year. It is November 2022. And as we know, every year, the beginning of the year, we start out, with goals, with resolutions, with ideas, and things that we want to get accomplished throughout the rest of the year. Well, here we are in November. So I want you to take a look at your list. Did you actually accomplish them? I can be honest and say, no, I did not. So in my kitchen, I have 4 poster boards. And on those boards, I have listed out different areas of my life. So I have spiritual, family, home, finance. What else do I have? I have relationships. And I think I have, it's one other, personal. And it might be more than that. I can't remember all of them. But I have these on 4 poster boards, and I have them all listed out. And underneath, I have in those categories things that I want to work on in each category. I have scriptures that go to it. And when I did it, my goal, and I think I did it, so I didn't do it at the beginning of the year. I did the end of 2021 going into 2022. And I did this because these are some things that I really wanted to work on. And when you are unpacking layers of years of traumatic things that you went through, or just trying to heal, just trying to go through that journey. And I know we talk a lot about the healing journey, but that is because it is real. And if you don't acknowledge some things that you need to work on, then you'll continue in that cycle or continue in those patterns that you want to get rid of. But so I have this on my wall, and just looking at it, I was looking at it the other day, and I was thinking, I have not even done half of those things that I wanted to do. Now I did start, but I just did not complete them. And so when I first wrote the list, I actually had an appointment with my therapist. And so her and I went through, all these sections of my life. And one thing she said to me that stuck out is she was like, it's great. She was like, but understand if you don't hit everything, or, if you feel like that you're not going to accomplish everything, it is okay to make adjustments. And so to know me is I'm that type of person when I want to get something done, I want everything done. So, if I'm like, just for instance, I'm trying to, I don't know, clean out my closet. Sometimes you'll pull everything out of your closet and then you're like, dang, why pull everything out? And I got to go through all this stuff and put stuff back. But I try to tackle like everything at once. And then I get overwhelmed. And then it's like, oh, why did I even start? So I think that's kind of what happens is, and I have not taken these poster boards down from my kitchen and I won't do it because it is a reminder of things that I want to accomplish. So what I had to do is make my own adjustments. So instead of saying, okay, I'm going to conquer everything, then I'm going to take piece by piece. And so even with my house, there's some things that I want to get fixed up. I want to remodel and all of that. And instead of doing everything at once, like it's okay to take one room at a time or one project at a time. If you're anything like me, you want everything done now. Like I don't want to wait. So it's funny because I'm a procrastinator, but then I want it done now. I don't know how that works. So anyway, it doesn't work. That's the problem. It doesn't work. So, so now what? Okay. So let's back up a little bit. I want to say, okay, why is it that I can't accomplish these things? What is it that I'm doing that's not making this happen? And I'll have to tell you, so last night, well, actually, let me shout out my friend, Kira, Cherie. Kira, I am so excited for you. My friend Kira got engaged last night to a wonderful guy. His name is Cedric Cobb. And so I'm super excited for them. I just wanted to go ahead and throw that out there. So congratulations, Kira, on your engagement. So last night, and while we were at dinner, the conversation was amazing. Just talking about just life and different things. But what I got out of it is that in order for us, we want to make adjustments, but we have to be real with ourselves on where we are. So if I know that I'm in this state of procrastination, and I'm keep throwing it out there because that is a huge issue for me. If I know that it takes me forever to get things done, or if I know that I'll plan this but not necessarily follow through, that means that I need to make a change. Because they say insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result, and you're not going to get a different result. So that means that I need to take inventory of me personally, my patterns, my habits. What am I doing and what do I need to change? And I use this as a small example, but so with my hair, you guys know I have my micro locks. So get into these locks, I think they are so cute. Everybody might not like them, but I do. And I'm so glad that they're growing. But anyway, so before I got locks, I had to grow my hair out. So I used to have a boy cut. So I had to grow my hair out. And before then, I would never wear a bonnet to bed. So I always had issues with like dry hair, breakage, just different things. But I never wore a bonnet to bed. I would just go to sleep on a cotton pillowcase. And if you are a Black woman, those cotton pillowcases will tear your hair to pieces. So I never did that. So this time around, when I began to grow my hair out after, I had the really short boy cut, I start using different products, and I decided, let me start sleeping with the bonnet to protect my hair and to take better care of it. So I did that. So I started sleeping with the bonnet. When I say, and it wasn't just the bonnet, I think it was also some of the products that I was using, but my hair was growing so well and it was so healthy. And I was like, man, what is this? Because I changed my habits. So instead of saying, I'm just going to go to sleep, not worry about this bonnet, because I will cut my hair off in a minute and don't even care. Like, I don't care. I'll go tomorrow. I'm not going to do it, but I'll go tomorrow and get a boy cut and I'll go about my business. And, I'm okay with that. But because I changed my habit and not realizing that I was going to get these micro locks, I was actually prepping my hair and getting it prepared so I can have a healthy lock journey. But if we don't realize the things that we are doing that is hurting us, or that is not helping us, or that is not going to allow us to grow, it's not going to allow us to be prepared to go to the next level, then we'll just stay in that cycle. We'll just repeat the same cycle, just repeat the cycle. So it's not even just okay to make adjustments. It is necessary to make adjustments. So that is something that I had to work on. I'm still working on now, honestly, because so here we are again, at the end of the year, and I'm going back through my list. And like I said, those poster boards are still on my wall. So I'm going to go back through them and actually be realistic about some of the things that I want to do. And it's okay to slow down and start. You can restart as many times as you need to get it right. And it is okay. As long as you got breath in your body, you can wake up and say, you know what, today is the day that I am going to make this change. I'm going to stop being a procrastinator. I'm going to start working out and start losing this weight. I'm going to start cooking more. I'm going to start eating healthy. These are decisions that we can make every single day, because every day we wake up, the Bible tells you that God gives us brand new mercies. So we can do it every morning. Every morning is a new opportunity to actually have to be morning. Every minute of the day is a new opportunity to actually make that change. So, and I think a lot of times too, when we are looking to make adjustments, sometimes it could be that you're trying to please people. So if you are, so say for instance, you had a business idea and you told everybody, I got this business idea. I'm doing this, blah, blah, blah. But then something happens and it doesn't continue, or you can't continue, or there's something that's stalling you or whatever. But then you don't want to admit that you need to go back and make some adjustments because you're like, well, I told everybody. Who cares? Who cares if you told everybody? These people, if they're your friends or if they care about you, then they will be okay. But if you make the necessary adjustments, that will push you forward to actually be successful and do better. And so, but I think a lot of times we do try to people please, which is something that is not going to help. We do fall into procrastination, which is not going to help. And honestly, sometimes it's laziness. Let's just be honest. I don't feel like it. Yeah, I know I want to go to the gym, but I don't feel like it. And going to the gym is one of those things where you hate to go, but once you get there, you are so glad you went. And I'm preaching to the choir, and I'm about to be really transparent. So before the pandemic, when I say, you guys, I was working out, my eating, I would do well. I won't say I was 100% right on my eating, but I had a plan, a nutrition plan. And when I say I was doing well, I had lost so much weight, you guys, so much. And to know me as a teenager and as a kid, I was skinny, like skinny to the point where I couldn't gain weight to save my life. And I had children. And even after the children, I was not a heavy person. But let me tell you something, as years go on and you sit down and you eat and you get less active, that weight piles on. And so I was skinny. So I never thought that I would even have a weight issue. So here I am, 48 years old, need to lose this weight. But I will not let it hinder me. I will not let it hinder me. I know I need to lose the weight. I won't let it hinder me. I think I'm still cute. But I know that there are some adjustments that I need to make. And it's not that it's okay to, I need to, because, dealing with high blood pressure and dealing with, I don't really have anything other than that, but just the whole weight, it's not comfortable. And so when the pandemic hit, I just kind of stopped. We start working from home. The refrigerator was right there. The chair was cool. I wasn't being as active as I was. And I just kind of sat down. And if you are not as active and you are just eating all day, that weight's gonna pile up. And it's insane to think that it's not. And so, throughout the 2 years, we've been at home. So now we're back, partially at work with a hybrid approach. But now, because of that, I have put the weight back on and plus some. So now I have to not only lose that weight, but lose the additional weight that I gained just because I stopped being active and stopped eating right. And that's just being honest. And so now I have to deal with that, because I was like, I wasn't in a bad place. I don't think, not real, like not depressed or anything like that. But I was just like, man, now I've got to go here, work out, lose this weight to get back to the weight before that I was trying to lose to get down to the smaller weight. If you're following me. So it's not easy, when you go back and fall back into those old patterns. But then you got to ask yourself, why am I falling back into these old patterns? Why am I falling back into these things that I know that is going to harm me? It's not going to help me. Why do we do that to ourselves? If we know that something is not good for us, it's not going to help us, why do we continue to fall into those patterns? And my friends, that is when you need to really do some self-inventory or call up a therapist. I'm going to shout this out. Call up a therapist, a counselor, call them, because there are some things that they can help you work through. And it's not necessarily that they're telling you what to do. They are there to help you to unpack some of those things that is causing you to continue in these bad cycles, continue in these bad patterns that is not going to help us in the long run. And so laziness is something that will definitely harm you at all costs. It's easy to sit back and just be lazy and not do this and say, oh gosh, I don't feel like doing that. But if you just get up and think about, and I saw this TikTok and the lady was saying that if you don't ask this person, talk to your future person. What does that look like? What do you want your future to look like? And when I'm saying this to you, I'm talking to myself. What do I want to look like in 5 years? What do I want my life to look like? That means you can start right now, and it's not too late. As long as you have breath in your body, it is not too late. So future self, what is it that you are looking that you want to do? What are some goals that you want to achieve? What are some things right now in life that you want to do? And make those decisions. Sometimes we'll think about it, but thinking and doing are two totally different things. So if you just continue to think, well, I know I need to make adjustments here, and I know I need to do this here, but you're not putting any action to it, then you just have a wish. I think my dad told me that too. Like, if you don't write it down, then you just have a wish. You don't even have a goal. So begin to write those down. Now, I will say this. I told you guys in my kitchen, I have a list of everything, and those are my goals. But I didn't put action to all of them. I just kind of walk by, I read it, and say, okay, I'll work on that today, and didn't really put action behind it. So for me, one thing that I want to do, and I'm saying this out loud to you, is to begin writing. Use my calendar. I'm terrible about that. Excuse me, but begin to do these things that will help me go to the next level. And another thing I think we kind of do that is a hindrance is that we don't believe in ourselves. And that's a really huge one, because God can give you an assignment and you won't do it because you don't believe you can. I mean, think about that. You won't do it because you don't believe you can. But here's the thing. God sent you to do it, so he believes you can do it. And if he believes you can do it, how is it that you don't believe that you can do it? Because we have imposter syndrome. And sometimes, and I do it all the time, you're like, okay, that sounds good for them, but there's no way that I can accomplish that. But start where you are. Start where you are. And as you go, make those necessary adjustments. And it's okay. It's okay. If you want to start a podcast, start right now. Like, if you guys really knew what my studio truly looked like, you'd be like, oh my gosh. Yeah. So just start right where you are. You can have one mic. You can have just a cell phone. You can have hardly anything. Just get started. And as you get started and as you go, you'll continue to make those adjustments. It's all about learning. It's all about growing. It's all about patience and being okay where you are, but also striving to always get better. Like, it's okay to start where you are. But one thing with God too, he is going to constantly be with us and help us along the way, because he said that he will never leave us and he'll never forsake us, which means that if we start here and be honest with him, get that quiet time with him, get that prayer time, and just talk to him and say, you know what, God, these are some things on my heart. How can you help me along this journey? And when I fall into laziness, when I fall into procrastination, when I start falling into people pleasing, and when I fall into not believing in myself, how can you help me through those things? And he will. Not only will he help you, he will send people to support you, that will be there for you, that will help you. Because let me tell you something, if God has given you assignment, not only is it, you should do it, it is necessary, because our assignments are never just for us. There are other people on the other end, on the other side, that is waiting for your gift. And we're gifted at different things. We just don't believe that we can do it. But again, God gave us these gifts, so why not? So it's okay to make those necessary adjustments. And again, like I said, sometimes it is necessary to make those adjustments. So what am I going to do going forward? So what are we going to do? We're going to begin. We're going to begin. What does it look like? Whatever beginning looks like for you. I don't care if you've done this thing for 30 years. It is okay to begin again. So if you are doing something, or if you had something that you started and you put it on the shelf, girl, man, pick it off the shelf, blow it off, dust it off, and start again. It's not too late. Because if you have something burning in your heart that you know that you want to do, pick it up and do it again. It's just start. Wherever you are, just start. And it's okay. It's okay to make those necessary adjustments. You know, sometimes we give up on things because we feel like that we failed. Failure is a part of success. We think success is a straight line up, and it's not. Success is sometimes you fail at this, but then you try again. You might fail at that and you try again. Success is not just a straight arrow up. It is across the street, down the street, back, forward, you know, but the key is never give up. So if you are listening to this right now and there is something that is burning in your heart that you know that you wanted to do, but you've been scared, fear is another tactic. I didn't even talk about fear. You're scared, you've been procrastinating, you don't believe in yourself, you are trying to please people. Let's take those things and set them to the side and say, okay, you know what? I'm going to pick this thing back up. I'm going to make the necessary adjustments that I need to do in order to move forward in whatever this project, this assignment, your gift, whatever it is. Pick it up, make those necessary adjustments, and move forward. So what I'm going to do, because I'm going to challenge you, and not only challenge you, I'm going to do it with you. And I'll report back every now and then and tell you where I am. So this is the end of 2022. I am going to look at my poster boards on my wall. I'm going to pick out some things that I want to accomplish every month until I accomplish everything. I'm not going to do it all at once. I'm just going to choose one of the items and say, okay, this is what I'm going to work on. And I'm actually going to create a plan. And that's another thing. And the Bible tells us, write the vision and make it plain, so that if someone were to pick it up, they could take it and run with it. You know, so let me create a plan. And I'm terrible about planning. I am such a go with the wind kind of person. I've been for years. I just go with the wind. Been for years. Now, sometimes it helps me and sometimes it works, but sometimes it doesn't work. And those times that it doesn't work, I know it's because I am that person. So it's a benefit, but sometimes it could be a disaster too. So my goal is to plan, you know, and start now. We still have 2 months, well, a little less than 2 months of 2022. We don't have to wait till 2023 to get started. We can get started right now. And the great part is getting started now is actually preparing you for the great things that's coming ahead in 2023. So I want to challenge you guys to make those necessary adjustments. What is it in your life right now that you know you need to do? Let's shatter the silence. What is it that quietly you know in your heart that you need to do? You may not have even told anyone, but you know that is something that God told you. You are gifted in it, and your gift will make room for you. So let's not forget that. You're gifted in it. And I'm talking to myself because there is something that I want to do. I haven't really told a lot of people. Just kind of that imposter syndrome. Girl, you can't do that. I got to get rid of that. But what is it that you want to do, that you want to work on, you want to start, you want to begin, that you haven't because either you're afraid, you've been procrastinating, you have been lazy, you don't believe that you can do it, and you need to begin. Pick that thing up and begin right now. Because even with this podcast, I'm not the best podcaster out here, but guess what? I began and I love doing it. And I know I have the gift of gab. God gave me that gift. And so I am here being an example of those who may not want to get started. But I'm going to tell you something. I have started. So just take my lead. My podcasts are not perfect, but as I continue, I will improve. As you go, you will improve. As things happen and you start just the little things, the creative juices will begin to flow. And you'll start saying, oh, I could do it this way, or I could do it this way, or I can, look at people in that industry and see how they're doing. Not being a copycat, but just, see how they're being successful. Get you a mentor, talk to them, and how things that you want to do, and then they'll help you with that. Get you a therapist. Again, get you a therapist. Just find someone that is a safe person that is going to support you in whatever endeavor that you want to do. So my encouragement to you is it is okay to make any adjustments so that you can get started in doing whatever your assignment is that you need to do. So again, I am your host, Dee Marie, and this was the podcast for today. I just want to thank you guys so much for always tuning in. I love doing this. I love talking to you all. I love talking to people. That's just who I am. So my podcasts usually come on. Well, I try to get them out at 9 a.m. on Saturday. Sometimes it does not always work. So just know that usually either Saturday or Sunday, they will be out. I'm going to stop putting the time on there. But anyway, thank you guys so much for always tuning in. I'm your host, Dee Marie. And if you need resources, if you are a survivor of sexual abuse or any type of trauma and you're looking for resources, you can email us at info@vosasmagazine.com. And that's info@vosasmagazine.com. And we can give you those. If you want to purchase one of our magazines, you can go to vosasmagazine.com, and that's vosasmagazine.com. And again, thank you so much for always tuning in. We appreciate your support and just continue to support us. Well, guys, go ahead and have a wonderful Saturday, and we will talk to you next time. And I will see you later. If I can find my thing here. Sorry, guys.